Disneyland just dropped prices for several dates in 2023. So if you want to know the least expensive dates that you can visit Disneyland this year, I'll have all of that and more on this week's episode of the Disneyland Weekly News. Welcome to the Disneyland Weekly News. I'm David Vaughn. It's February 2023, week 2. And before we get into this week's main topic, here's some updates that you may have missed this week. Okay, so we have some breaking news. Disney CEO Bob Iger just announced that Avatar experiences are coming to the Disneyland Resort. This is a direct result of The Way of Water performing very, very well in theaters across the globe. And so now Bob Iger has officially announced that experiences will be coming to Disneyland. Now, the word experience was used and not attraction or expansion. So originally I was thinking maybe this is going to be like what we see at Shanghai Disneyland, which is sort of like a small area in Tomorrowland. You can walk around and experience a banshee, some photo ops, things like that. However, the Shanghai version really felt like it was a way to get audiences excited for the Avatar movie coming soon. Whereas later on in the call, Bob Iger touched back on this when he was talking about capacity in the theme parks and was saying how expanding the theme parks was actually a really good move for them based on the demand. They've actually seen increase in sales due to expanding the parks. So then he brought back up the mention of Avatar for Disneyland. And now it seems to me that we actually might be getting a land at Disneyland, or at least part of a land, some type of expanded experience. Is this something that they're going to somehow push into Tomorrowland? I don't know. There's not a lot of space there. Is this going to be part of the Disneyland Forward movement where they expand part of the parks into around where the Disneyland Hotel is? Any of this stuff is very, very possible. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be difficult to know at this point in time, but I will keep you updated. Next up, believe it or not, Disneyland has dropped the prices of its custom lightsaber build. If you're not familiar with Savvy's workshop in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is one of the most incredible experiences that you can pay to do at the Disneyland Resort, especially for Star Wars fans. Originally, these blades started at about $200, and then they went up to $220, and recently they went up to about $250 just to build one of these custom lightsabers. Now, these are beautiful, gorgeous designs. They're metal hilts. You can customize pretty much every single piece of it, including the lightsaber blade. But it seems that price point may have been too high. There were plenty of reservation spots available daily, and Disneyland has since dropped the prices back down to $219.99 per person who builds one of these lightsabers. Now, you can't watch this experience. It's just exclusive to those who are building the lightsaber hilt, but it is a really emotional piece of the Star Wars storyline. In addition, anybody who builds one of these custom lightsabers also gets to bring a guest, but they can't bring more than that. So if your friend is building a custom lightsaber, then you might get a chance to see this emotional storyline. Otherwise, if you are a big Star Wars fan, this might be the time to do it as prices are back down again. Next up, we have new details and pricing for the runDisney Half Marathon coming to Disneyland Resort this January. The event takes place from January 11th through 14th, 2024, with registration beginning February 14th, 2023 at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Participants will receive a shirt, finisher medal, race bibs, and more. Now let's check out the pricing depending on the race that you decide to compete in. The Disneyland 5K takes place on Friday, January 12th, and it's $108.99 per person. Then we have the Disneyland 10K, which takes place on Saturday, January 13th, 2024. It's $148.99 per person. And the Disneyland Half Marathon, which takes place on Sunday, January 14th, 2024, is $234.99 per person. And if you're feeling extra brave, they have the Dumbo Double Dare, where you compete in the 10K as well as the half marathon. So pricing for that is $389 per person. There are also kid races, which are a lot shorter and only $35 per participant. Every child 9 or younger who participates in the runDisney Kids races go home's a winner with a finisher medallion designed for the tiniest runners. Encourage your child to join during this fun-filled weekend. There's even a diaper dash for crawlers. Disneyland says the kid races are open for children up to 9 years old, and kid races are broken down into the following age groups. Kid races take place on Saturday, January 13th, 2024. But if you can't make it to the Disneyland Resort, but you still want to compete in these races, there is also a virtual series. This is going to launch a few days later. This is going to take place on the same weekend and uses the honor system. Here's the price breakdown for the Disneyland virtual events. You can find more information on runDisney's site, but the good news is if you do compete in one of these virtual experiences, you also get a medallion as well as a digital race bib and more. So there's a lot of added benefit to these. They mail you the medallion. I've done a virtual race before. I got a Black Panther medal. I found it to feel very accomplished, even though I was just mostly running this on a treadmill. But you can get out in nature and also create your own marathon. Registration for the virtual events begins February 17th at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the virtual event can sell out, so just make sure that you get on that early. In fact, all the Run Disney events are expected to sell out really quickly, so make sure you're planning on that morning to secure your spot. Next up, we have Disneyland ride refurbishment updates, as well as some reopenings for popular attractions, starting with the Haunted Mansion, which is scheduled to reopen as its original version on February 10th. Over at Disney California Adventure, Mickey's PhilharMagic will close from February 13th through the 22nd. Also at DCA, the Silly Symphony Swings has a closure beginning February 27th, but we don't have a reopening date for that just yet. And over at Disneyland, Mickey's Toontown will finally reopen on March 8th. This will include Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin opening with the land. Currently, only part of Mickey's Toontown is open for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and you can only really access that area if you have a virtual queue spot or you purchase an individual lightning lane. And back at Disney California Adventure, we have Grizzly River Run reopening March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Basically heading off before the spring break crowds for anybody who wants to experience this water attraction. Now, there is still no word when the Indiana Jones Adventure will reopen, and we also don't have a closing date for Splash Mountain just yet. It's time for Snack of the Week, where I tell you about new snack and food items that you've got to try during your next Disneyland visit. This week, we're going to talk about a Disney 100 celebration snack. The lemon tea cake is lemon curd with lemon zest glaze. It is absolutely delicious, something that I highly recommend if you want to get a really good breakfast snack. It's usually served all day. You can find it at Jolly Holiday on Main Street, USA at Disneyland, and Alien Pizza Planet and Tomorrow at Disneyland, as well as a Pacific Warp cappuccino cart at Disney California Adventure. That's the cart that you can find right before the Pacific Warp Bridge. The Disney 100 celebration snacks should be available throughout the year. They might change out some of them, so I would expect this one to be here at least through the end of summer, but we'll have to wait and see. And before I get into how you can save money this year at Disneyland, if you don't want to miss out on future Disneyland news updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to help this channel grow, make sure you drop a like for this video. It really does help me out. So let's get into those least expensive dates. So what are the cheapest dates that you can visit Disneyland in 2023? If you're not familiar, Disneyland uses a ticket tier price system to determine how much you pay depending on the day that you go. Now, it is less expensive for days that are considered to be less popular and more expensive for dates that are considered to be very popular. Now, these ticket price ranges all the way from $104 to $179 just to visit one park per day. Now you might be saying, well, I pay less than that for 2 parks. How did that work out? Well, you can always add on a park hopper ticket. So if you pay for the $104 ticket, but you want to visit 2 parks that day, you would have to pay an additional $65. So it'd be $169 to visit both parks in one day. But if you just want to visit Disneyland or Disney California Adventure on these least expensive dates, it's only going to be $104. But we're here to talk about how you can save money. So let's talk about those $104 dates. What are they in 2023? Disneyland only rolls out its ticket calendar about 4 months ahead of time. So we have dates just before summer now. This is how you can save money in spring 2023. So for these tier 0 $104 ticket dates, we have May 2nd through 3rd, May 9th through 10th, and May 16th through 17th, all Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the month of May. However, we finally get more $104 ticket dates back in June. We have June 1st and also June 5th through 8th. So you definitely have some really good week dates in there. Now, I don't expect to see any tier 0 dates for the first part of the summer after those dates in June and then also in July. However, it's possible that we will see tier 0 $104 ticket dates return in August, and I definitely think we'll see them in September as well as parts of November. We just don't have those ticket calendars out yet, so if you want to get updates for when Disneyland rolls out these least expensive dates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell because I will keep you updated. Speaking of different times you can visit the Disneyland Resort, I want to know, what is your favorite time to visit these parks? Is it during the Halloween season, the holiday season? Is it earlier in the year, or do you like it hot during the summer? Tell me in the comments below. And again, my name is David Vaughn. Thanks for joining me this week. And if you want more Disneyland tips, make sure you check out the recommended videos in the next screen.